This episode is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the #1 seller of games and gaming accessories. And GatheringMagic.com, the #1 resource for Magic the Gathering news and articles.
Hi, my name is Shaun, and this is my Savra Queen of the Golgari deck. Alright, this is my Savra Queen of the Golgari deck. Okay, so Savra says whenever you sacrifice a black creature, you may pay 2 life. If you do, each other player sacrifices a creature. Whenever you sacrifice a green creature, you may gain 2 life. And she's a 2/2, and she's a 4 cost. Alright, so we got some trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, and then we got some foily, shiny, swampy skulls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Then we have our cycling lands. If our mana base is good, there's no reason for us to keep dropping lands anymore, so we'll use that for card draw. So we have Barren Moor, Polluted Mire, Tranquil Thicket, Command Tower. If you've been playing EDH for, I don't know, at least a day, then you know that this is a good land to have. Tainted Wood, I can add colors to my mana pool, or I can add black or green to my pool if I have a swamp in play. So we're most likely going to have a swamp. Twilight Mire, add colorless, or I can play black or green and add any combination of 2 to my mana pool of black or green. Okay. Reflecting Pool, one of my favorite lands. Add to your mana pool 1 mana of any type that a land you control could produce. Vivid Grove. Vivid Grove comes untapped with 2 charge counters on it. Add green to your mana pool, and you can go ahead and remove a charge counter from Vivid Grove to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So if you're lacking the black, then you can get some there. Woodland Cemetery. Woodland Cemetery enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a swamp or a forest. Bayou, it's a swamp, it's a forest, and it comes in untapped. It's good. Overgrown Tomb. Overgrown Tomb comes into play. You may pay 2 life. If you don't, Overgrown Tomb comes into play tapped instead. It's a swamp and a forest, and sometimes we just don't need that land or that land right away, so we don't have to pay the 2 life. Evolving Wilds, little land ramp package here. So sacrifice Evolving Wilds, search your library for a basic land card and put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Terramorphic Expanse, exact same thing, different name. Verdant Catacombs, I can pay a life and sacrifice Verdant Catacombs, search your library for a swamp or a forest card, and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. So we can get that Overgrown Tomb and that Bayou. Bojuka Bog, black staple. Bojuka Bog enters the battlefield tapped. When Bojuka Bog enters the battlefield, exile all cards from target player's graveyard, so you can stop those reanimators. Maze of Ith, from my original Magic playing days, from one of the first packs I ever ripped, and basically Maze of Ith says target attacking creature becomes untapped. This creature neither deals nor receives damage as a result of combat. You can use it to protect your own creature if it's in danger, or you can go ahead and use it like it's intended and go ahead and keep somebody from beating your face into the ground. high market. I've won a game with this land, so it's a sack outlet. I can sacrifice a creature and gain a life. Phyrexian Altar, I can go ahead, another sacrifice outlet, so I can sacrifice a creature and add 2 black to my pool. Pretty good. Vulturous Stronghold, I can pay 1 in black and put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. So I can get back some of those value creatures that I'm going to need so desperately to win the game. Inkmoth Nexus. I can pay 1, and Inkmoth Nexus becomes a 1/1 Blinkmyth artifact creature with flying and infect until end of turn. It's still land. So I'm kind of, in my meta, I'm experiencing a whole lot of Wrath type effects, and I'm also experiencing some infinite players. So this kind of lets me go ahead and react after that Wrath happens and do some poisony type damage. Sfoglos, again, waiting for that Wrath, and then I use Sfoglos. Until the end of the turn, Sfoglos, the Restless Tomb, becomes a black and green plant zombie creature with this creature's power and toughness are equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. It's still land, so for 5 I can do that. And if this comes out early game, people kind of forget about it, and then you wait for that Wrath to happen, and then you can do some serious damage with this land. This land is awesome. Okay, we're getting into our creatures now. Here we got Carrion Feeder. He's a sack outlet, so he can't block, but no big deal, whatever. Sacrifice a creature, put a 1/1 counter on Carrion Feeder. Old Ace Thumbus or Gravecrawler. Gravecrawler can't block. You may cast Gravecrawler from your graveyard as long as you control a zombie. So this guy can start acting like a machine gun with a zombie in play and Phyrexian Altar. He's just really thorough at killing stuff. Okay, next up we have Viscera Seer. So this will allow us to kind of get our top of our deck all set up for ourselves. So sacrifice a creature and scry 1, another sack outlet. Really good. We got Bloodghast. Bloodghast can't block. Bloodghast has haste as long as an opponent has 10 or less life. And whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may return Bloodghast from your graveyard to the battlefield. So we should be doing lots of land drops, and we should be getting lots of Bloodghast triggers. Fauna Shaman. Pay green, tap, discard a creature card, search your library for a creature card, reveal it and put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. So some of those reanimator creatures like Nether Traitor and Gravecrawler, we can go ahead and just throw them in the graveyard. Who cares? Because we're going to go get something really valuable for the mid to end game with this one here. Nether Traitor. Super confusing because it's in Chinese and I don't speak Chinese, but anyway, it's haste and then it has shadow. This creature can block or be blocked by only creatures with shadow, and whenever another creature is put into your graveyard from play, you may pay black. If you do, return Nether Traitor from your graveyard to play. So pretty good. Again, just another one of these fodder guys. So we have Reassembling Skeleton. Return Reassembling Skeleton from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Cemetery Reaper. Other zombie creatures you control get 1/1, and if I pay 3 and tap him, I can exile target creature card from a graveyard and put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. So I get some sacrifice fodder, I get to exile a problem child out of somebody's graveyard, and all in all, it seems pretty good. And my zombies get +1/+1. Eternal Witness, green staple. When Eternal Witness enters the battlefield, you may return target card from your graveyard to your hand. So you can go ahead and get whatever piece of your engine you're going to need to go ahead and make the thing run smoothly. Fearmancer. At the beginning of each upkeep, if you control no snakes, put a 1/1 black snake creature token with Death Touch onto the battlefield. So you get Death Touching snakes, you get sacrifice fodder. This guy is awesome. Yavimaya Elder, he has been chosen over the Sakura Tribe Elder, basically for the land drops and Bloodghast. So when Yavimaya Elder is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. If you do, shuffle your library. Pay 2, sacrifice Yavimaya Elder, and I get to draw a card as well, so pretty good. Braids, Braids Cabal minion. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player sacrifices an artifact, creature, or land. People aren't going to have a whole lot of creatures to sacrifice, and they start making drastic choices and start sacrificing lands, which keeps them from casting some of their game enders. So that's always a good thing for us. She's a 4 cost. The next few creatures here are 4 cost. All right. Creakwood Liege. Other black creatures you control get 1/1. Other green creatures you control get 1/1. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a 1/1 black and green worm creature token onto the play. So we can make Savra's ability trigger for both the black and the green and go ahead and get more value out of Savra. And so that seems pretty good. Another 4 cost here. Flesh Eater Imp. This guy here is a sack engine, it's a sack engine, and he has Infect and Flying, and he gets 1/1 for each creature that you sacrifice to him. So you can really you can knock somebody out of the game if they don't have any flyers, or if like a board wipe just happened, this guy somehow made it through to the next round. You can go ahead and use him to get some beats in and kill somebody. Oracle Mul Daya, another 4 cost. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Play with the top card of your library revealed. You may play the top card of your library if it's a land card. So it allows us to do some extra land drops, which is always good. Oh, Flesh Writher. Probably the coolest thing that I have in this deck, and the most effective, seeing as most of my stuff is 4 cost, including my general, and if my general gets tucked, I can use this to go get her. So he's a really good tutor. Transfigure, I pay 3, and I can sacrifice this creature. So I get the sack trigger. Search your library for a creature card with the same converted mana cost as this creature, and put that card into play. Then shuffle your library. So again, just really good. Oracle Mul Daya, Braids, any Flesh Writher, whatever I need. Another green staple, Acidic Slime, Death Touch. When Acidic Slime enters the battlefield, I can destroy an artifact, enchantment, or in a land. Fallen Angel, another sack outlet, so I can go ahead and it's got flying, and I can sacrifice a creature, and Fallen Angel gets 2/1 until the end of the turn. Pretty good. Lord of Extinction, I call this my target creature. So Lord of Extinction's power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in all graveyards. It just comes in as a really big thing, and people get scared of it, and they stop focusing on what is more important, which is the sack engine that you're trying to run. Mitotic Slime, when it dies, I get to put 2 green ooze creature tokens into play, and then when those die, I get to put 2 1/1 green ooze creature tokens into play. So I get 5 creatures out of this one card. It's pretty good. I get to gain lots of life off of it, and I can use it to sacrifice and Eternal Witness it back for more. It's just really good. Michaeloth, Devour 2. I can go ahead and sacrifice some creatures and put some counters on this guy, and at the beginning of my upkeep, I get to put a 1/1 green sap or land creature token into play for each 1/1 counter on him. So that's pretty good, and he's a big creature, and I get lots of sack fodder out of him. More sack fodder, Ogre Slumlord. Whenever another non-token creature dies, You may put a 1/1 black rat creature token onto the battlefield. Rats you control have death touch. Everybody's just going to have lots of stuff dying, and we're just going to get a lot of death touching rats out of it, and more sack fodder. So, Skithrix, kind of, again, my answer to like the Infinite and the Wrath of God stuff. So we have a flying infector that if I pay 1, I can give him haste, and if I pay 2, I can regenerate him. Vulturous Zombie. He's flying, and whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, he gets a 1/1 counter on him. So Vulturous Zombie is a plant and a zombie as well, so he helps all my triggers in that area as well. Just really tough, effective card. Grave Titan. Grave Titan is a death-touching 6/6, and whenever Grave Titan enters the battlefield or attacks, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. So him and Gravecrawler are best friends forever. Butcher of Malakir. Butcher of Malakir has flying. When Butcher of Malakir or another creature you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a creature. So this is our Grave Pact in the creature world. Pretty good. Avenger of Zendikar, another kind of green stapler here. When Avenger of Zendikar enters the battlefield, put a 0/1 green plant creature token on the battle for each land that you control. And then it has landfall as well, so whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a 1/1 counter on each plant creature you control. So if Sphogthos happens to be a creature at the time when you drop that land, or Vulturous Zombie, they both get the hookups from Avenger of Zendikar as well if the landfall happens. So good. This is my penultimate creature here, It That Betrays. So he fits into this deck really nicely. He's Annihilator 2. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent, you may put that card onto the battlefield under your control. So we get to take everybody else's creatures and start beating them in the face with those. Skull Clamp. Everybody should know what Skull Clamp does, but if you don't, equipped creature gets +1/-1. When equipped creature is put into a graveyard, draw 2 cards. It's really good. We actually want to Skull Clamp stuff that is more than a 1/1 creature, because we get more value out of sacrificing our creatures than we do just killing them off. Ashnode's Altar, sacrifice a creature, add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool, so pretty effective. Go ahead and get that If That Betrays out there just by sacrificing creatures, and clear everybody else's board out at the same time. Phyrexian Altar, basically sacrifice a creature and you can add any color to your mana pool that you need. So this basically helps Gravecrawler act like a machine gun and just fire off, killing a bunch of creatures. And we don't really care if we gain or lose life in this deck, because we're going to be doing a lot of both. Wall of Lost Dreams. Actually, we do care about gaining life. Whenever you gain life, you may pay X, where X is less than or equal to the amount of life you gained. If you do, draw cards. Drawing cards in green and black is much needed, and this card really facilitates that. Killing Wave. This is my basic Wrath for this deck. So for each creature his controller sacrifices it unless he or she pays X life. Works pretty good with Savra. Just keep her, go ahead and keep the couple pieces that you need on the battlefield to make your engine still run, and go ahead and use this to just kind of clear out the board and leave you with some stuff. We have Life and Death. So all lands you control become 1/1 creatures until the end of the turn. They're still lands. So if that Wrath of God happens, we can go ahead and use Life to do damage. And then Death. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. you lose life equal to the converted mana cost. If we need to get something back out of our graveyard, and we'll just pay the life and go ahead and get it. So. Reanimate, same thing as death. The only difference is we can take it from any graveyard, so we can go get those creatures that might be a lot cooler than what we have here in the deck to have some fun with and hurt other people with their own stuff. Demonic Tutor, search your library for a card and put that card into your hand, then shuffle your library. Whatever piece we need of our engine or our infecting or whatever, we can go get it with the tutor. Exsanguinate, each opponent loses X life, you gain life equal to life lost this way. Just do a bunch of damage and gain a bunch of life. Regrowth, bring any card from your graveyard to your hand. Add 2, this is really effective and it allows us to get back whatever we need to continue on the game. Rite of Consumption, as an additional cost to play Rite of Consumption, sacrifice a creature. Rite of Consumption deals damage equal to the sacrificed creature's power to target player. If you gain life equal to the damage dealt this way. So we can go ahead and do this with Lord of Extinction and probably kill somebody with it for 2. It's pretty good. Sign in Blood, target player draws 2 cards and loses 2 life. Drawing cards is good. Search your library for a land card, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. So we can go get the Vulturous Stronghold or a sack land like High Market, whatever we need to kind of make things move along. Kodama's Reach. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal those cards, and put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand, then shuffle your library. Maelstrom Pulse. Destroy target non-land permanent and all other permanents with the same name as that permanent. Take care of those token players, or if everybody has some cool creature and you don't, you can just blow up all their cool creatures at once. Harmonize, draw 3 cards. Drawing cards is good. Triumph of the Hordes. Until end of turn, creatures you control get 1/1 and gain Trample and Infect. Go ahead and use this with your life and give all of your lands Infect after a Wrath goes off, and everybody will die to your lands, killing them. Army of the Dams. Put 13 2/2 black zombie creature tokens onto the battlefield tapped. Just gives us a bunch of fodder, and we get to flash it back, so it's pretty good. Tainted Strike. Combat tricks are fun, and target creature gets +1/+0 and gains Infect until the end of the turn. So we can go ahead and just do surprise, you're actually dying this turn kind of stuff. Untamed Might. Target creature gets XX until end of turn. So again, another combat trick. This deck is really good beginning and mid game, and that kind of stuff was to finish the game off, to win the game. So we got Vampiric Tutor, pay 2 life, search your library for 1 card, shuffle your library, then put that card on top of your library. Hurry up. We got Erupt Decay. Erupt Decay can't be countered by spells or abilities. Destroy target non-land permanent with converted mana cost 3 or less. So we can blow those swords up. Swords of X and Y. Altar's Reap. As an additional cost to cast Altar's Reap, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. Course and Grip. Course and Grip has split second, so nobody can react to it, and destroy target artifact or enchantment. Take out those combo pieces. Putrefy, destroy target artifact or creature. It can't be regenerated, so we can take care of some of those problem creatures or artifacts. Hatred, probably the ugliest card in Magic, but one of the stronger cards in Magic. Pay X life, and target creature gets X+0 until the end of the turn. It's instant, so nice combat trick there. Go ahead and maybe make that general damage stick. Bitter Blossom, awesome. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life and put a 1/1 black fairy rogue creature token with flying onto the battlefield. You get flying creatures that are black that you can use to sacrifice to Savra. Glistening Oil, enchanted creature has Infect. As at the beginning of your upkeep, put a -1/-1 counter on enchanted creature. When Glistening Oil is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return Glistening Oil to its owner's hand. So we can use this on Spogthos and basically go ahead and turn it into an infecting land. And when it turns back into a land, it will the enchantment will fall off and come back into my hand, and I can do it all over again. Phyrexian Arena, at the beginning of your upkeep, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Grave Pact, kind of the penultimate enchantment for this deck is whenever a creature you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, each other player sacrifices a creature. So now we're making people sacrifice 2 creatures for every one that we do. Gutter Grime. Gutter Grime is my fun card for this deck. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, put a slime counter on Gutter Grime. Then you put a green nose creature token onto the battlefield with this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of slime counters on Gutter Grime. Just a lot of very fun card. Okay, and then we got 2 cards left. We got my Planeswalkers, Garruk the Wildspeaker, my favorite Planeswalker. +1, you get to untap 2 lands. -1, put a 3/3 green beast creature token into play, and -4, we go ahead and get that overrun. Creatures you control get 3/3 and gain tramples. So, and you can do that basically the turn after it comes into play. So pretty good. And then last but not least, Liliana Vess. Target player discards a card. Is a +1 -2 is search your library for a card, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it. And the -8 is put all creature cards from all graveyards on the battlefield under your control. The -2 is the most important here. To get those two vampiric tutors is pretty good. So.
Thanks for watching CMDR decks. Please subscribe and favorite.